Welcome, very welcome to the Virginia Governor's Palace. I am Lord Dunmore, Royal Governor of Virginia, of course. The Virginia colony built this place to house its royal governors and serve as a gathering place for the colony's leading families. I've heard it took almost 2 decades, and not everyone was happy about it. Lieutenant Governor Spotswood felt that construction was moving too slowly and asked the Assembly for more funds. The building was finished about 50 years ago, but the expense of the project annoyed the colonists. They're always complaining about something. And when they had him removed from office, it was one of their complaints against him. He might have been a thorn in their side, but he did succeed in creating one of the grandest homes in Virginia. Please, come into the hall. Previous governors chose to make the colony's power and military readiness evident upon entrance to the building. The weapons here aren't just for looks, although they are quite imposing. I'm told the militia used them during the 7 Years' War, and I used some when I marched upon the Shawnee last year. I admit that this show of force is a bit old-fashioned, but it's a tradition that I honor nonetheless. One benefit of the way that they're arranged is that it's easier to spot when one of them is missing. But the staff keep track of those things, like our butler who's in the pantry right through there. We have so many visitors, from beggars to burgesses, that I can't greet them all. A footman usually waits here to greet them, and if they're important enough to meet with, they'll wait for me in the hall or in the parlour over here. Now, there is a casement clock here in the parlour that I brought with me from my native Scotland. Despite the difficulties of transporting it from Britain to New York and then New York to here, these clocks are quite fashionable, and I rather like having the piece about me to remind me of home. I dine here with my family and many others. When indigenous nations come to treat with me, they are offered my hospitality and dine with me here. I often host men from the colonies to dine with me and my family, and conversations inevitably turn to politics, philosophy, and current affairs, like how the Americans have taken to protesting British policy by promoting their own manufactures. I even understand it is now in vogue to end a meal with a toast to American manufacturers. Though here at the palace, we always toast to the King and Queen. Now, I use this room to do business as well, as it's a convenient place to meet with men who come to the palace wanting an audience. I often find the map made by John Henry, the father of that popular attorney Patrick Henry, to be useful for reference, though they say it's not the most accurate map of Virginia. Now, let us proceed upstairs and see the rest. Yes, 9 pins. Forgive the 9 pins upon the stairs. It seems that John or Susan has left them out with the ball playfully upon the stairs so that his father might slip upon it and break his neck. Excellent, excellent, wonderful. How wonderful that my children have done this. Dearest, I was not expecting to see you here. I'm just showing some people around our home. They are interested in how we live. And, well, now that you're here, perhaps you would like to talk about your rooms.
Of course, I'd be delighted to. This room is a sitting room and my dressing room. I oversee the household, receive visitors, and listen to the children's music lessons here. We have 7 children here with us in Virginia and a large staff, so this room is always filled with activity. I gave birth to our daughter Virginia just a couple months ago, and we christened her just last month, hosting a ball the same day. The people here have received me so warmly. Our bedroom is here, and our 2 oldest girls and their governess stay in a room just across the hall. The younger children stay upstairs.
We do have a room for guests. I heard the last governor showed some of his sympathy for Virginia's rabble-routers by purchasing Virginia-made cloth for use in the guest chamber.
Husband.
The ballroom was added to the house about 20 years ago. It allows us to entertain the men and women of Virginia society. We just had a ball here last month to honor the Queen's birthday and the christening of our baby Virginia. Of course, it's customary for the governor to host balls to honor the King and Queen, despite what might be going on outside of this building. There's no room for disloyalty to the crown here at the palace. Here, men and ladies come together to dance and play cards and socialize. It is quite an undertaking to put on a ball, requiring us to borrow and hire more servants and slaves to serve guests, help the cook, and perform music. The door here leads out to the gardens and the grounds. The gardeners, like James, are some of the best at their trade. I'll leave you here and return to my correspondence. I hope you'll come back and visit us again.